What's up, y'all? This is MGTV Reactions, and today we're going to be reacting on the Resilient Jenkins. All right, you guys? So, listen, it's a lot to unpack when it comes to the Resilient Jenkins. All right, the first thing that I'd like to discuss really quickly is the simple fact that Drew and Desiree were given a custody arrangement to where, as though Desiree, who is Deshaun's mother, she would be allowed to have visitation with her son on Sundays. Well, you guys, they have already been breaking the custody order or the visitation schedule. I guess that's a better way to put it. They have not allowed the boy to go and see the mother. All right. And Stephanie has still been posting Deshaun on all over her social media platforms and talking about the situation constantly, which is another thing that the judge told them to stop doing. But anyway, you guys, real quick. The first thing that I'm going to watch with you guys is the live stream that Stephanie did earlier on YouTube. Okay, it was very, very disturbing to me. So I just want to go ahead and get into that first, you guys. Before I get into this reaction, I'm going to ask you to please comment your thoughts down below because you know I want to hear what y'all got to say. Hit the thumbs up button for me, all right? And subscribe as well if you have not done so already. All right, let's get into it.
Hey girl, how are you? Bro, I'm a little shaky because I don't even know if I want to. I just don't know at this point, you know? I'm so tired of the ups and downs, and I really feel like I'm starting to feel like this ups and
It's her coming to social media in distress for me. Immediately, she starts off the live. She doesn't ask how anybody's doing or anything. She just immediately came to the live looking to vent about her relationship situation. Like, Stephanie, your relationship trauma or issues are the least of everyone's concern. The main concern of everyone is the housing of your children and also Deshaun being able to see his mother. But let's go ahead and continue.
the ups and downs is just too much. It's not healthy on our family. It's not the right choice for our family. Like, meanwhile, here my baby is getting fussy because she don't want to be here in this fucking car. She want to go sit in something. I'm just gonna say it. Like, I really am starting to feel like this relationship is too much on my kids. The day in and day out of me and Drew having to fix some dumbass shit between us. Sorry for cussing. Some dumb crap. It's just too much. We got 5 kids, yo.
I'm just confused. You said it's too much on your children because you and Drew have to fix different things. I mean, the main thing would be housing so that everybody can have their own space and you wouldn't have to go sit in a car with the baby. I mean, I just don't understand. You've been had a terrible situation with the kids and Drew because you brought them immediately into his small 1-bedroom apartment, all right, and moved them into the living room.
I'm so tired. It's hard, and it's like, is it worth it anymore? You know, because I don't know. You reach this point in relationships sometimes where y'all keep fighting about the same things, and you gotta wonder, like, okay, are we ever gonna be able to heal and fix these things? Or even if when our life is a little bit better, are these things still gonna challenge us to bring us back down to where our success is really never as great as it could be, because there's always gonna be this between us now. You feel me? It's not even like we're like fighting. It's just that I have a lot of anxiety. I've already dealt with anxiety for a long time. Prior to when we got together. And I told him I have a lot of trust issues too because of some of the crap my ex put me through. Watch corn. Okay, I
So
just don't. I consider that self.
so you guys, Stephanie came to the internet frazzled, okay, and wanting to vent to the people because Drew's over there watching corn. All right. He's watching corn while they are all cooped up in a motel room. All right. I'm just I'm at a loss for words. Why is that the main concern, Stephanie? It seems the thing that bothers me about this couple is that they are both super like relaxed about the current living situation that they're in. Okay, they're super relaxed about that. That's not the main thing that they're stressing about. That's not what she's coming to the internet stressing about. She's coming to the internet stressed because Drew is watching corn. I mean, I would be irritated by it too, being as though, how do you have time to sit down and watch corn? All right. But you don't have the time to go fill out job applications and make any money to put everybody in a better housing predicament. I mean, that's frustrating. I can understand that. But her thing is, it's considered cheating. So Stephanie feels like Drew is cheating on her, and that has her feathers ruffled. I just don't get it. I don't understand. But let's continue.
I consider talking to like online women that you like. Maybe you ain't got no intentions with them, but you just flirting and doing all that. I consider that cheating. Okay, and he's already put me through that stuff. So yeah, I get anxious and I have anxiety when sometimes he'd be out door dashing or whatever, and it's like an hour or two since he's responded to me. But I don't even like go at him like that. I never like continually call his phone or like.
So let me just say this really quickly. To be honest, you guys, I really do I think that maybe Drew is violating his custody order that he has with Desiree on purpose. Because the bottom line is, being as though he's not allowing her to talk to the boy on the phone, he's not allowing her to have any visitation. When they do go back to court in July, on July 10th, right, more than likely the judge is going to find him in contempt. And what can happen with that is you can lose your custodial rights, you could be fined, or you could be sent to prison, all right? So I think that Drew is now looking for other options. Okay. I think that Drew is looking for a way out. If he does lose custody of Deshaun, right, I believe that he's not going to stay with Stephanie. He's not going to stay with Stephanie and all these children in the motel room. I think that Drew is looking for the next best thing. So I feel like the least of her concern should be whether or not Drew is cheating. Her main concern should be housing her children, and bettering herself and her finances so that she can provide for her children. I mean, it's obvious, and she said this and he said this, that she's pretty much the breadwinner right now, right? So I'm not understanding why that's not the main concern, you guys. I feel like the least of my concern would be a broke man cheating on me. I would be trying to get out of that situation so that I don't have to deal with him cheating on me.
Or like I may send a couple text messages, but I wait. You feel me? But me today, he's like, okay, I gotta switch up my route or whatever. I'm gonna call her and let her know because he doesn't want to give me more anxiety that he's switching up his route. Which I don't even understand why he thinks I was gonna come at him in the first place. But instead of like understanding that my phone's being used, he calls me back to back like 8-9 times, and then comes home all upset with me, like, why aren't you answering your phone? I was trying to let you know that my route was changing so you didn't get anxious. And I'm like, you don't think this is going to make me anxious too? Coming at me like this? Like, I'm just here trying to start my morning correct. Just start my morning reading a book because I don't ever freaking get a chance to just, especially in a motel, every time I fucking sneeze incorrect, the kids are awake. Like, I cannot get up in the morning early enough or do anything that doesn't wake up the kids. So there's no like starting my morning for myself.
So my thing is, being as though she's not even able to start her mornings correctly without waking up all of her children, I just don't, like I said, the main concern should be appropriate housing for herself and the children, not worrying about whether or not a man who has nothing to contribute, okay, who has no motivation and no drive to get a job to get you up out of your current situation, right? A man who's not providing and he's out cheating, that's the least of your concern. That's my opinion. That's how it should be. I mean, if he does leave, how would that really, what would that really stop? If anything, it might bring you more peace because then you don't have to worry about being attacked for the things that he's choosing to do.
The most I could do this morning was 2 of my kids were already up, and I was like, I'm going to start reading a book, maybe try to take a shower before the rest of them are up. Meanwhile, energy gets thrown off of me, and I'm just completely freaking thrown. And that is, I don't know, man. Can you get off my freaking shit with that? Please. I'm so tired of that. There's nobody, he's not trying to be freed from anybody. Okay? He's one of the only reasons I still put up with true scrap. I low-key wonder what kind of parenting.
So, you guys, somebody in her live chat said free Deshaun. She said Deshaun's not trying to be freed from anything. And in fact, Deshaun is the only reason why she still sticks around for Drew. She sticks around and with Drew, all right, out of concern for Deshaun's well-being, is what she's saying. So I just think it's funny how 1 minute Stephanie is, praising Drew and saying, how much she appreciates and loves Drew and that he's the best man for her and that they're soulmates. And then the next she kind of, bashes his parenting style and makes it seem like she has to stay in order to keep Deshaun safe. That's interesting to me.
That child's going to end up without me in the freaking picture. Mind you, someone was absent for so long until social media was an interest in the matter. How does that show real concern, real love for the child in the first place? I was here by choice. I've done everything for the kid by choice. I've been here. I've made sure he gets to the doctor. I take care of communication with the teachers. I've said all this crap. So it isn't me who needs to keep seeing all these freaking comments. I love that kid with my whole soul. And like I said, he's one of the only reasons I put up with shit as long as I have.
I feel like Stephanie really only had an attachment to Deshaun because she had no choice but to be attached to Deshaun. I mean, she moved into his father's 1-bedroom apartment. She had to take on the motherly responsibility and load of caring for Deshaun because she could not be in his home without doing so. Okay? I mean, if she really cared that much about Deshaun, then why has he been mistreated all this time? Why is it that his birthdays are not as important as her daughter's birthdays and he gets less than them? Why is it that they have that little boy walking around any kind of way? Why is it that it was reported through the school that Stephanie actually gave him a black eye? So I'm not understanding. Stephanie was only around Deshaun because she had no choice but to be. It's not because she wanted to take on the responsibility of another child. She wanted to have a man and she wanted to live in that man's space. So she had no choice but to become a stepmother, all right, or a mother figure to Deshaun because she was living in his home. But let's continue.
I ain't reading none of these comments. I'm just here to vent, get some people on the understanding aspect of it, and let y'all know that, like, I'm reaching a freaking point, yo. Is that my kid? No, someone else is told her. I'm like, I try to, like I said, I try to be understanding because I know that a lot of like what we deal with emotionally.
Why is she so jumpy?
Try not to get someone else's business in this. For someone having a conversation behind me, I'm gonna have to mute it. Can let me know because I'm gonna turn that off.
My opinion is this. Stephanie has been facing a lot of hate online just for the simple fact that she is condoning what Drew is doing, which is alienating Deshaun from his mother. Okay. So people have been coming for Stephanie because they know that she definitely is also not in favor of Deshaun building a relationship with his mother. The people dislike Stephanie and Drew so much, all right, and they really feel a way about their child being there, so much so that they raised over $10,000 on Deshaun's mother's TikTok, not TikTok, her GoFundMe, okay, so that she could retain a lawyer and get custody of her son. All right, so Stephanie has been facing a lot of backlash, a lot of criticism, not only for the way that she treats her children, but also for her condoning him alienating the child from the mother. Okay, so I feel like she's coming on here now just trying to gain sympathy from the people, just trying to have people feel bad for her because she knows that eventually something is going to come of the fact that they are not abiding by the custody order. Okay, it's that. And then I also do believe that Drew is probably over there cheating on her. All of a sudden, he wants to go out and DoorDash and try to provide, okay, and make a couple dollars when he was comfortable for the longest time doing absolutely nothing but playing his game. Okay, now he wants to go out and try to make money. No, I don't believe that's the case. I think that Drew is out doing DoorDash and also making pit stops at different women's houses, all right, and trying to find the next best thing because eventually he plans on leaving Stephanie. He does. Okay, he wants to find someone who has stable housing, a bigger place to live, maybe less children. All right, and being as though Drew has abandoned his child before, all right, he already has abandoned his older child. I I do not put it past him to abandon the children that he's also had with Stephanie. So right now, what's happening, you guys, I just feel like she's looking for sympathy. She sees that this is all about to tumble down and it's not going to end up well for them or for Drew mostly because he's making terrible decisions by not abiding by the custody order. Okay. And then he's also looking for a way out, and she can sense that. A woman knows when her man is out cheating and looking for something else. Stephanie's already insecure because she doesn't like the way she looks. Drew never tells her that she's beautiful, and we've already talked about that before, okay? So she knows that the man's not really attracted to her, and she can sense that he's looking for a way out. So now she's all frazzled and nervous on the internet, looking for the people to sympathize with her. But unfortunately for Stephanie, nobody's going to sympathize with her, all right? Because the people see that she has put herself and her children in a situation. The people know that Stephanie has other options, but she chose to turn down those other options because she wants to stay with Drew. All right. And so even with her coming on here and saying all of this about Drew, more than likely she's not going to leave Drew. All right. She's just not. Okay. Drew's going to have to go ahead and leave her. Once he finds somebody else and dips off, that's when it'll be over. But I don't think that Stephanie's going to find anything better or even just choose herself or her children and move on. I mean, I don't think that she has the strength to leave, even though she can clearly see that this situation is not good for herself or her children. But let's continue.
Um, Mama, what you got my shirt like that for? Can I have it back, please? She talks all the crap about me when I've been here. I'm not listening to all of your small-minded opinions. Anybody who hasn't been supportive through this and hasn't just had an understanding, like I could care less. You think I need that energy right now? You really think I do? Get out of here with it. I'm here to talk to the girlfriends that are here. Like, girl, we got you. We see you. Because that's how I am as a friend. That's how I would be.
Well, unfortunately for Stephanie, she believes that she actually has real friends on this internet. And that's a shame. Because, girl, these people on the internet are not your friends. They're just watching the train wreck, in case you didn't know.
And I just love it when doctors be like, "Well, I knew your baby better than you because of statistics," and she want to be like, "Your baby can't stand yet," and then Momo's like, "Stand," just like that. Like, are you just playing with me? Come on, no. What you mean my baby can't stand? Lots of 4 months old can stand.
What? Where did that even come from?
You got this, Mama. You say you got 12 babies. What?
Now, you guys, listen very closely to this part. This was very, very disturbing to me.
You ain't gotta leave me alone, but
I was just asking where are we gonna get the donut?
I told you. When are you gonna get used to being disappointed? It's gonna have to be you or me who go get him later. He done made his choice. He's not gonna take you.
What?
I'm sorry.
So, did you guys hear that? She said to her child, well, first of all, her daughter came over and asked her, when are we going to be able to go and get the donuts? Stephanie said, I told you, when are you going to get used to disappointment? He's already made up his mind. He's not going to take you. It's going to have to be me and you later on. My issue with this is, why would you ever encourage your child to get used to someone disappointing her? This is coming from a mother who said that she wants her children to feel better about themselves than she feels about herself, okay? She wants her children to believe that they deserve better. She wants her children to be confident, okay? She wants to raise strong, confident women, young women, okay? That's what Stephanie said. But she just sat here and told her daughter that she needs to get used to disappointment. Why does she have to get used to putting up with the BS that you choose to put up with? Why would you ever even say that to a child? I mean, that for me was heartbreaking. I mean, girl, if you can't rely on Drew to at least just keep his word, to take the kids to get donuts, okay, or to even go pick up some donuts and bring them back for the kids, girl, you should not even be with him. And just because you're sitting over there getting yourself used to being disappointed, all right, well, first of all, Stephanie is already accustomed to disappointment and trash men, okay, giving her pass, but she is used to that, right? So now she's used to the fact that Drew has already been watching porn and cheating on her and talking to other women online. She's used to him disappointing her, not being a provider, not being a protector, not trying to help them better their situation. She's used to him cheating and staying on the game. That's what she's used to. All right. And she's going to tell her daughter to get used to the disappointment. Well, how could you possibly raise strong women who are, if you're trying to make them accept trash behavior now? I just can't believe she said that. Let's continue.
I'm tired of that shit too. I'm tired of him saying he's gonna do stuff for my kids, and then he just, oh, maybe then, maybe that. Disappointment. Yo, we up in this motel homeless, and you can't just take your daughter to the freaking store to get some donuts when you told her you were gonna do it?
Like I said, Drew abandoned his own firstborn child. Okay, Drew didn't even care about taking his son to get proper haircuts. Okay, Drew doesn't even care about making sure that the kids have a proper pair of shoes to wear. Drew doesn't even give a damn about making sure that the kids have proper sleeping arrangements, proper housing. Okay, Drew doesn't care about he doesn't care about any of that. So what makes Stephanie believe that he gives a damn about making sure that he takes the kids to go get donuts like he promised them that he do? All right, and this is the kind of BS that she puts up with. Wow, insane.
Yeah, I letting her know, like, girl, you really don't think that we're just. I'm gonna take you, baby girl. I got your back. If you have an issue with how I just laid facts out to my daughter of like, hey, we got this. Okay, cool. Raise your pillow soft, children. My kids are being raised with some tough skin. Right. I don't jive with it. Like, and I don't appreciate the you're a kid, I'm parent, you do as I say, you have no opinion. Like I don't like that kind of vibe of parenting at all. My kids have a voice. Is she still gonna go get donuts? And if I was worried about y'all's opinions, I wouldn't have talked to her like that.
You asked your daughter, why doesn't she just get used to the disappointment? I'm just not understanding why she doesn't see anything wrong with saying that to a child. If anything, she should have just said, "Nah, I'm going to take you when I get off of live. It's just going to be me and you that goes," or something like that. But to tell your child that she needs to get used to being disappointed by the man that she's currently calling dad, that is disgusting. Just because you're allowing yourself to be let down and disappointed over and over again, don't project that onto your children.
Big petty energy is it, definitely you picked the right name for yourself. Why you want to clout being petty? That's not even funny. I ordered a jumper for her, but it never came because I said it on a live and somebody was like, "Oh, let me mess that up." Immediately, like it was on its way, and then it was up. Gotta love that.
How could somebody mess up an order that Stephanie placed for her child? She's saying that she ordered her child a jumper and then they messed that up for her. She's been making a lot of accusations lately. She's saying that somebody hacked into her iCloud and deleted all of her videos and pictures and everything that she's had of her children for the past 3 years or so. I mean, I find that hard to believe. And now she's trying to insinuate that somebody somehow intercepted a package or stopped a package from arriving. Girl, nobody's doing all that to you. I mean, just how? So people can take your mail? Stephanie, please.
Oh my lord, man, she yanking my hair around. Anyways, yo, I just said all that because I want to be true and transparent, and I let go of me. This Kate Blanchett is a busy. Karma gonna come. Honestly, though, I'll just wish my sister would get her butt up out of the terrible relationship she's in and let's go.
So she goes from one extreme to the next. Now she's putting her own sister into it, saying that her sister is in a way worse situation than she's in, and that she wishes that they could just, get together and disappear with their children together. That makes absolutely no sense. Stephanie, you're a grown ass woman. Why do you need your sister to? Why do you need to link up with your sister to get away from Drew? You don't need to do that. First of all, Stephanie has the ability to go back with her mother with her children. She refused to do so because she did not want to leave Drew. And she just said that she didn't have a relationship with her sister. Now she's willing to run away with her sister. Stephanie is just all over the place. I think she's frazzled because Drew came in there and they had a little bit of an argument or whatever, a back and forth. And she is suspicious of him going out and cheating while he's doing DoorDash and things like that. She knows that he's out watching corn in the house with them or going in the bathroom to whack his meat or whatever and watch porn. So she's insecure about that. I mean, Stephanie's just all over the place, but it's her 1 minute saying that she doesn't want to have a relationship with her family at all. Okay. And then she's completely, locked in with Drew. She's never going to leave him because they're soulmates. And now she's saying that she wishes she could run away with her sister. And then she's also putting her sister's relationship business out there to make it seem like she's not the only one that's going through it. In fact, her sister is going through something way worse. Girl, please. Stephanie is a whole hot mess. At the end of the day, Stephanie, or at the end of the day, period, she's sitting in a motel room. All right. It's 7 people in a motel room. All right. One bed, a pull out couch, and a bunk bed. All right, it's no space. You don't even have the proper space or a proper kitchen or anything to cook in. All right, your man is sitting there doing everything he can to not get a job. All right, he'd rather do DoorDash and play on his game. All right, he's doing DoorDash to make gas money, but what about the money to get a house? Okay, he's waiting for Stephanie to do all that. And being as though it's taking Stephanie too long, Drew is looking for the next best thing so that he can leave and dip off on her. That's what's going on here. And Stephanie is frazzled and all over the place looking for sympathy. All right, and looking for friends, looking for somebody to lean on because she can see that Drew is about to slip away from her. And it's unfortunate because at the end of the day, Drew is nothing worth having. He's not worth fighting for. He's not worth staying for. He's not worth being with. Because at the end of the day, any man that will sit there and allow you to struggle when you are the mother of his children. He's allowing you to struggle, okay? And he's doing the bare minimum. He can't even keep his promises to the children in the home. He is not a man worth having at all. I don't understand how hard it would be to cut the dead weight off and focus on yourself and your children. But the problem is Stephanie is male centered and male focused. So if she doesn't have a man, she's really going to feel low about herself. You understand? Stephanie's already insecure. She hates the way she looks. She doesn't like the way she's dressing. She doesn't like anything about herself. Okay, and so just having a man that's willing to have, you know, having a man around that's willing to bump pelvises with her, that helps her feel somewhat good about herself, and she really values that. Okay, so just having that, that's why she sticks around. But I don't think Stephanie, she's apprehensive to leave because she feels like if she doesn't have a man, she has nothing, because she doesn't really love herself, and if unfortunately her children are not enough motivation for her to leave that situation and do any better than what she's doing. And it's sad to see.
Saying that I'm in like a DV situation because best believe when I want to go, I'm gone. But I'm trying to make things work because we've worked so well as a family for so long. And I don't even know, man. That's the thing. Sometimes I gotta ask myself, what am I holding on to? I know you love your daddy, baby, but you gotta do what's best.
Or another, she feels like she needs Drew. All right. She feels like Drew is the best thing for her. So, you guys, really quickly, I'm going to go ahead and head over to TikTok so I can show you guys the last live that she did over there where she's actually defending her relationship with Drew. It's just so funny that there's such a dramatic change from what she's saying here versus what she's saying over there. Here is the latest live that Stephanie did on TikTok. Let's go ahead and get into this.
So I would have put this video up a lot sooner just to kind of set things straight. But yesterday was my daughter's 10th birthday, as a lot of you know. And then today, I've just been catering to this little baby girl because she got some vaccines yesterday and she's just been extra grumpy and just extra clingy. And I'm okay with that. But I wanted to get up on here and say something. And, this is more for the supporters because that great deal of the hate Haters are just gonna keep assuming whatever the heck they want and saying whatever they want, regardless of what I get up on here and say. But if you think that relationships that have lasted 50, 70 years, grandma, grandpa, they haven't put some work in, they haven't gone through some tough times. Like I had to change the battery in the camping light and put the baby down. But anyways, like I was saying, if you honestly think that those relationships that have lasted that long haven't had to put work in, they've just been perfect the whole time, you're freaking naive. Like seriously fucking naive. And that's exactly what Drew and I don't owe anybody explanations to that. It's between him and I. Y'all are here to
So
watch.
really quickly, she's in a relationship with Drew, or she doesn't owe people an explanation about why she doesn't leave Drew. Well, if you do not want to provide the people with an explanation, or if you don't want to talk about it when people call you out on your BS, then ma'am, you should shit with Drew. You know, Drew and his corn addiction. All right, Drew possibly cheating, Drew not keeping his word with the children, Drew not providing. You shouldn't be coming on here speaking about any of that if you do not want the people to suggest that you leave the man who is clearly dead weight to you.
Not the side our journey. Try to fucking remember that. I mean, like, seriously fucking remember that. Remember y'all's place. I promise full transparency, and I don't give a crap who decides to judge me for, oh, but you have expressed this and you've expressed that, and I would just leave. That's you. That's on you. That you would decide to leave instead of continue to try to make your family work. Instead of look past this incredibly difficult time and see that you guys have a lot of potential. You just need to work through it. Mind you, like Drew and I have not had one date since we got together. We have not been kid free. Deshaun over at this little Christmas
Right
that we
there. The fact that
experienced.
they've never had the ability to get to know each other or bond with one another without having their children around is terrible. I mean, so they just jumped right into the situation immediately. He was looking for a mother for Deshaun, somebody who could come and look after the boy so that he could focus on his game the majority of the time. Stephanie was looking for housing, for someone to make her feel wanted, needed, and valued or whatever. And so they just met up and just automatically decided to stay together just out of pure convenience, not because they even actually like each other, just out of pure convenience and out of availability. So the simple fact that Stephanie had no standards, she didn't require him to take her on a date. You know, she didn't require him to have a big enough home, you know, before her and all her children moved in. She didn't require any of that of him. Okay. She just wanted a place to bring her children, and she wanted a man to lay on top of her so she could feel worthy. All right. And Drew was just looking for somebody to cook, clean, all right, and look after his son, and somebody he could hump on, you know, and not have to do too much for. He didn't want a female that he would have to provide for or really be a active provider for. He didn't want anybody that was going to motivate him, expect him to go out and work, expect him to do what men do. He didn't want that. He just wanted somebody that was going to be happy with the tiny bit that he had to offer. And they just got together and never left. Isn't that something? That's embarrassing. I wouldn't have even told the people that.
Drew had a work buddy or something that had some younger kids, and Deshaun would go stay there occasionally. So when we first started talking about meeting, he was like, okay, I'm gonna see if they can take him for that night. Maybe we can have a date. And then last minute, those people were like, yeah, never mind, which is fine, whatever. But he was like, I can't. I don't have anywhere for my son to go. Is it okay if we still meet? Because we already kept putting it off for freaking months because we both had kids and stuff just never fucking lined up. no, that's not reason to just be like, oh, you should never have even met in the first place. Why? Why are you guys so quick to just be like, I want to be alone when I'm that has been through thick and thin with me? Like I have stories to tell up to reaming. I just never
So
have the
so
time.
one thing about it is I cannot
Please,
relate to
you
anything
know,
Stephanie is saying. I being in, all right, but when it comes down to affecting the children's stability, okay, when it comes down to the children no longer having a home, when it comes down to the person not even trying to help the situation, that's when it's time to cut off the dead weight. So I can understand somebody trying to wait. At the same time, the other party has to be someone who is worthy of trying to keep. I mean, clearly Drew is a worthless man. He's a man who has abandoned his child, a man who avoids paying child support or providing for his children. He's a man who is alienating one of his children from the mother. He is a man who does not want to get up and work and provide. You know, he wants to play his game all day and do the absolute bare minimum. He's a man who is okay with five children sleeping in the same room as him and not having their own space. He'd rather them have that tiny space than him actually go out and get a job and provide for his family so that they can have stable and efficient housing. Okay, that's the kind of man he is. So no, I do not understand why you are why she is trying to work it out so hard with someone who is obviously pulling her down and holding her back. I mean, and it's the simple fact that she's also a bum because at the end of the day, there's plenty of women who might have a bum ass man, okay, but they'll get up and at least work themselves, okay, because they care about their children's well being. Stephanie doesn't want to do anything but sit on the internet, okay, and shield and alienate her children from the world. She doesn't want her children to be around other people. From what I understand, they're not even allowed to go on field trips in school. Okay, they miss days of school. She talked about homeschooling. They don't have any other family members that they go around. She doesn't have any friends or anything. It's just been her and Drew and the children. So, and she doesn't want to get up and go work. It seems like she's okay with the arrangement. She just wants to work harder towards maintaining an income on the internet, but she has no real desire, no drive to actually get up and get a job. It's sad to see. So, although Drew is a trifling bum, all right, Stephanie's also trifling and bummy as well.
and go talk. No, like this is my first opportunity to be up in here. That I've got both the toddler, I don't have two daughters, both the babies settled, and I just feel like I just have a fucking minute because other than this time, I've really just been up and down ever since like 3, 4 days ago. Another thing I feel like I have to set straight for I don't fucking know what reason. I'm not trying to keep nobody from nobody. Okay, I didn't get in this position because I was like, oh, let me sneak in and like make sure no one else can come back and be the mother figure. I didn't do that. I stepped in and provided care and was there for the child, and I can't
She
excuse
wants
why.
Deshaun's
I
mother
feel
to
like more
be
often I
to
need to be
give
giving you guys
to
the
express
perspective of like,
gratitude for
hey,
her
this is what I've done as a mother.
caring for her son. I mean, but at the same time, while you have been the person that has been caring for her son, and also possibly the same person who has been mistreating her son, all right, you're you're completely okay with the alienation that Drew is doing between Deshaun and Desiree. I mean, why would anybody be grateful for you being around and that's what you are okay with? Are you encouraging Drew to go ahead and allow his son to have time with the mother? It doesn't appear that way. In fact, you guys, I actually came across a screenshot where there was a, let me go to it real quickly on my phone so I could just read it out loud to you while I'm doing this. I should be okay. Here it is. So somebody commented and said, "I hope little man's mom gets full custody. No child should live like this." Stephanie responded to that comment and said, "No child should live with a parent that ditched them for alcohol and street life and pops back up to make a name on social media. My son is staying right where he is." So, how could somebody be grateful for you when you're overstepping your boundaries and referring to the little boy as your son when he's not really your son? Okay, you can call him your stepson, your bonus child or whatever. But at the end of the day, Stephanie is trying to override the biological mother, and that is crazy to me. Stephanie's saying that my son is staying right where he is, as if she actually has a say in that. So nobody is going to be having anything positive to say to you because you're not staying in your place. You're not remembering your place. Your place is Drew's girlfriend. Nothing more, nothing less. You're not his wife. You're not Deshaun's real mother, okay? And to be honest, you are temporary. You are temporary. So therefore, you have no say in anything.
Mother, because y'all constantly kind of check me like I'm the one in the wrong when I didn't do anything in this situation to perceive or receive all the hate that I fucking do. That's what I came here to say was that we aren't just gonna break up just because a whole community of people wants to see that for us. Like there's a lot more to both of us. There, there's so much that we want to share that we just seem like we both feel like we never get the fucking time to get up on our apps and try to share it. The autism thing for a toddler, it comes from Drew, okay? And a lot of the things that we deal with up and down are because it's connect with somebody who has that emotional.
So Stephanie has been talking a lot about autism, all right, and saying that Drew is autistic as well as her son that she has. She keeps even saying that. Has she had the child evaluated by a specialist? Has Drew even been evaluated and been diagnosed with autism? I feel like Stephanie just throws different things out. That's just my opinion and my perception of their whole situation. You guys, listen, I really do. I feel for Deshaun's mother and I feel for the little boy because from what I understand, the mother does have stable housing now. She has a room specifically for Deshaun. Okay, so he could be living a much better life than what he's currently living, being cooped up into a motel. All right, he could be living under much better circumstances. All right, but because his father wants to be so bitter and just wants to alienate him from his mother, he's not getting the opportunity to build a relationship with his mother or to experience a better and more stable lifestyle. Okay. I don't have any sympathy for Stephanie. At the end of the day, she's choosing to stay in this messed up, toxic, dirty, low down, trifling situation that she's in. Okay, this is where she wants to be. She wants to be with a broke bum man. Okay, instead of being safe with her family in a home that is appropriately sized for the size of her family and for her and her children, that's where she'd rather be. She'd rather be with a man who'd rather play the game and DoorDash to make a few bucks, all right, than get out there and hustle, be on her own, and do better for her own children. So I don't feel sorry for her because at the end of the day, this is the life that she's choosing. And I feel sorry, but I do feel sorry for Stephanie's children because for her to tell that little girl, why don't you just get used to the disappointment? Just imagine what other things she is over there saying to those children because of the things that she's allowing her own self to be put through. Just imagine what she's saying to them, you guys. I just feel like it's a horrible situation for all parties involved, okay? And you guys, I'm waiting, and I really can't wait to see what happens when they go back to court in July, okay? I can't wait to see how the judge handles Drew after he has violated the custody order, all right? And after he has, he hasn't even been allowing him to talk on the phone to his mother. He hasn't even been giving Desiree updates when she texts him to see how the child is doing. He has not been doing anything. And he also has not stopped Stephanie from coming on the internet discussing Deshaun, his mother, and the whole situation in its entirety. Okay. So I just can't wait to see how that all plays out. All right. You guys, this has been a very long video. And this is going to conclude my reaction on the Resilient Jenkins. I hope you all enjoyed it. And before I get off of here, I'm going to ask you to please comment your thoughts down below because y'all know I want to hear what y'all got to say, okay? Hit that like button for me and also hit that subscribe button for me too if you have not done so already, okay? And until next time, I will see you all later. Bye-bye.